Good Monday morning. We have something as unusual as a real-life person in flesh in the studio today. This is my friend Norn. We have been friends for a very long time. We worked at Spotify during the same period, so we were like the same Spotify generation. We started at sort of the same time, and we quit at sort of the same time. You're here to show us a project called Pixling.
That's correct.
Whoa, check it out. My hair is different and colored like it's MPJ from the future. I have come traveling from the land of post-production to inform you that today's video is sponsored by Coursera. Thank you, Coursera. Coursera partners with top universities and industry leaders such as UPenn, Imperial College London, Google, and IBM to provide the world's best online education experience. They have over 3,000 courses in subjects such as data science, business, blockchain, you name it. Either go for a single course or an entire master's degree. It's 100% online and very affordable. Go check them out at coursera.org after the show. That link is also in the episode description. That's our sponsor, Coursera. Thank you. Now, let's get on with the show.
So for the past few months, I've been working on a new project of mine, and it's all about evolution and artificial life. And it's called Pixling World.
Yeah, so what is Pixling World?
Okay, so briefly, Pixling World is what I call an evolution simulator. So I got interested into evolution. And then as I was reading about evolution, I also got curious, is it possible to actually simulate evolution in a computer as well? So in Pixling World, what you do is that you create worlds.
All right, can we show an example of a world?
Sure. So we have something here.
Yeah.
And this is actually completely blank right now, but what we can do is that we can create one little pixeling in this world.
All right.
And here we go.
So it can move around and stuff. So is this like what is in machine learning and AI, is this like your name for an agent?
Yeah, so this guy is what in machine learning, we call this an agent, and it's one, you can think of it as an animal or something with a little brain. And the way this works is that this is a world that I already created before, but now we're just going to demonstrate that to have something to play around with.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, this is web-based, right? So we're gonna, like the URLs here and to these specific worlds, we're gonna link them in the episode description so that you can click on them and play around with them as we go along.
Yeah. So this guy is called the Pixling. He has got a little brain, which is a neural network. And what he can do is that he can actually...
Oh, wait, so every pixeling contains a neural network.
That's correct. We can create another pixeling here. And this guy has got also a neural network for brain, but his neural network is different from the first guy that we created.
Oh, so they like have a little random seed that makes their brain... Oh, that's amazing.
And their behavior is completely controlled by this neural network. And the way it works is that they take inputs from their surrounding. It's kind of like they have eyes and they see everything around them. And then they use that, process it through the neural network, and out comes their decisions. So they might decide to move, they might decide to do something, fight something, or take other actions. Yeah,
so there's no code determining like which direction these pixelings are moving. That's just the neural network doing things.
But the cool thing here is that, okay, so we have these neural networks, when you start out, they're completely random, which means that the pixeling's behaviors are completely random.
Yeah.
But what happens is that they can also reproduce. And when they do, the neural network changes ever so slightly, which means that the little baby pixeling child, his behavior is ever so slightly different. And if that behavior is good or beneficial in the environment, he might have more children in his turn, and he's going to spread and spread and spread.
Okay, so are we going to try that now, or do you want to try it later?
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
All right, how do I do this?
Yeah, go ahead, and you can use the little spawn button up there to create new pixelings.
Oh, this one. So, okay, so can I click more?
Go for it.
Oh, so it's like it's like kind of like a painting tool.
Exactly.
So you can just go...
You can paint as many as you like.
And right now they are just moving around.
Yep. And actually what you can do is that you can increase the speed a little bit. You can take it all the way up to hyper. and you can paint a lot more of them. Just go for it. Just go crazy. Actually, what you can do is that you can change you see the little radius down here?
Yeah.
Change that to maybe 100.
All right.
Oh, I think it's not selected.
Oh. 100.
Perfect.
And now I
then
can like paint with a...
Zoom out a bit. Zoom out a bit, and then we're gonna paint like a lot.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
If you click the selection down here, you're gonna get rid of the selection, which is
All
cool.
right. Yeah, so this is what happened when God created the universe. You're like, yes, oh God, they was not supposed to be this big and complex. I can never manage this. All right.
So now we have a lot of pixelings, and a lot of them are going to do, like, their behaviors are going to be completely uninteresting. But we're going to see here that some of them are actually fighting each other, and they're going to take over more and more.
So this is, hang on, like I hate to do a segue, but like this is so fast. Like,
Yeah.
and it's web-based. How did you do this? Like these are how many pixelings?
You can hit this little graph up here.
The graph. Yeah, so these are 11,000.
Yeah, and I think if we would go crazy in this world, we would get something like, if you go like this, yeah, go for it, just fill the screen. It's something like a 300,000 pixelings in this world.
How? Like this is cannot possibly be JavaScript.
Yeah, so the way it works is that it actually runs on the GPU through WebGL.
Oh, so yeah, TensorFlow does that as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason you want to do it, like the reason it can be so fast, is because the GPU is built really for parallel processing.
All right.
So every single pixel or every single cell in this world
Yeah.
is being computed independently. So all of them being run at the same time. And that means that you can have these massive, massive simulations. And now we can actually see some of these pixelings starting to have some behaviors that are different. And
Oh yeah, so now we see like there are different colors. I'm not sure if we're gonna see, like I'm gonna zoom in a little.
yeah, and some of them are starting to spread here. And that's because those guys, like their ancestor, he was a little bit better at fighting and taking over other pixelings. And then he spreads more and more. And then now he's starting to take over the world.
All right. So, oh, this is so cool. Yeah, so we can see the colors here that this is like one breed of pixeling.
Exactly. The different colors signify their species.
Yeah. There's a very big stable one here, a green one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they are really up to. You can actually increase the speed even to extreme up there.
All right. Whoop.
Oh, I think the power. Okay.
Okay, I'm bad. I'm the worst. Like, I'm the worst at typing, and I'm also the worst at zooming.
Okay, here we go.
I think the green one is still like seems to be more effective anyway.
They seem to be, yeah. And the cool thing here is that you never know exactly what to expect in since this is actually real Darwinian evolution. There are no rules. There's no goal for them really to accomplish. So you can actually restart the simulation and get a completely different outcome every single time.
Oh, that is so cool.
And we can actually do that if you hit the reset button up here.
Yeah.
And then you can use the spawn tool, and then you can just click a few times, a bit here and there. And you can see that this is going to turn out slightly different. There's like a different species doing something different here.
Yeah, and this is not due to me painting and placing them differently, even though that is like affects it. But if I like read you correctly, like even if I painted it exactly the same, it will still be completely different because the random seeds for each pixeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we should probably not go into all of chaos theory and all of this, but you probably heard about the butterfly effect and these things, where you can have small variations in the beginning can have huge effects on the end result.
Yeah.
So you never really know what to expect when you run even the exact same simulation many times.
Can we so we're gonna go into like creating one of these from scratch, right?
Yep.
A little bit. Yep. But before we do, like, can you talk a little bit? Why did you make this? Like, how? I mean, it's cool, but why though?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. So the
By your
honest
parents.
Yes. What are you doing, Fredrik? No, I think the honest answer is that I was just fascinated. Like, I just started out thinking like, oh, I wonder how this would work.
Yeah. Started
building in one end, and then it just fascinated me so much that I kept building. And in the beginning, I was actually not even running this on the GPU. I was running it in JavaScript. And then one day I had the idea of like, oh, maybe what if I run this on a GPU? Maybe it would be a lot faster.
Yeah.
I had to try it, and then I was blown away by how fast the simulation could be, and how interesting the results could be. So I just had to keep building and building on it. So there's no, I don't have like a grand plan for this or anything. I'm just very fascinated by these pixelings and what they can do themselves.
I think it's also important to like stress here like your background. I mean, you are definitely a very good programmer, but you're not like some kind of AI genius. Like you do not have like a formal education in AI or something like that. You are game development.
Game development is part of my background, and we worked on front end development together. So yeah, I mean, what I know about AI is mostly self-taught.
Yeah, and it's in just pretty recent years, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's really Andrew, what's his name?
Andrew Ng, or
his courses and.
Yeah, sure. There's so much good material online as well to learn so much about AI. Fast.ai is a great resource to learn about AI as a programmer. But yeah, maybe we should jump into actually seeing how this can be built, because what you do as a player is that you define these worlds, right? So maybe we can show how to actually
exactly, because this to me seems a little bit unapproachable. I mean, I don't know how any of this works. I get the general idea, but like, how is it built? How can I create my own pixeling world?
Yeah,
like the basics.
Let's get into it. It's actually super simple. So let's actually jump back to the main screen here. You can click the home button.
All right.
Yeah, leave it. And we can go ahead and create a new world.
All right.
And here we go. So the way it works with Pixling World is that you always start with a completely blank slate. It's like God at the first day of creation. There's nothing. There's just
like that time you were God.
Yeah. Now you can be for a few minutes here. So there's nothing decided for you up front. The first thing you can do is that you can create an actual pixeling.
All right, so that's up over here on the right.
Yep. You can give him a name.
La la la. Fluffykins.
Yep.
Oh, I can even a hat. Okay. You have a very limited set of hat options.
Yeah.
Feature request. But
I'll work on it.
Yeah. I guess this hat. What is speed? Is that movement speed?
Exactly. So they can have a different movement speed, or even no movement speed at all if you want, for instance, a plant or something like that.
All right. So, and it has abilities and some properties.
Right.
So what are abilities?
So right now we haven't built any abilities, but abilities are kind of like, if you imagine a game like Diablo or StarCraft.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So your units in these games, they will have different abilities. They might have an ability to heal other units. Maybe they have an ability to put a trap on the ground, or
more basic ones like attack.
And all these things. And in Pixeling World, you define all these abilities yourself. The Pixelings, they decide when to use them. They are like the players in your game, but you define the game for them.
Yeah, okay.
So right now we don't actually have any abilities for them, but you can even with this, you can go ahead and hit update.
All right, click an update down here.
And then create a pixeling, and you're going to see that even if it...
I'm going to paint a few plugins.
Perfect. So even these guys, they don't have anything they can do, so they're super boring. They just move around and kind of do nothing.
So they each have like the hat I chose, but they have different colors indicating like this is generated from their breed, so that I can
Exactly, you can keep track of them, and if one of them would, we're gonna add an ability for them to reproduce.
What is breed the correct word? Is it generation? What is it called?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, sorry. Continue. If you know, comment.
Yeah, I think maybe we need a new terminology for virtual life. We might have to invent something. But we can go ahead and actually create some abilities for them, so we can see, because they're so boring if they don't have anything they can do. They can only move around right now.
That's true.
So let's jump into the edit mode again.
And abilities, I saw that over here.
Yep, let's jump into it. And then you can create a new one.
Okay, up over here.
And let's make an ability for them to kill each other, because we feel like being mean today and kill pixelings. So
of course, like death is part of life. All right, so and I guess I pick something like, okay, pick up an axe.
Perfect. Axe murdering pixelings. Let's do it.
Color, screw that. And then I suppose I click here and create an action.
Yes.
What happens? Okay. Actions, reproduce. We don't want that. So I figure kill focus. Focus pixeling.
Yep.
What does focus mean? Is that they just sort of like how they randomly walk around? I guess, and that means that they randomly walk around like focusing on things. Sometimes.
That's kind of right. So you know how we might only be able to like focus on a very few things. Like we can't focus on everything at the same time.
Yeah.
The pixelings are kind of the same, that they have to choose one thing in the world to focus on. And then they can interact with that thing through our abilities. And in this case, they choose to focus on, if they choose to focus on one guy and then use this ability that you're building, then that's going to kill that pixeling that they're focusing on.
Okay.
And you can even also give the ability a name if you like.
Oh, kill them all.
Perfect.
Oh, I accidentally ended another one here. How do I remove one?
You can right click on the little box there and delete.
All right.
Perfect. So let's try this one out. But before we do, actually, let's create one more ability so that they have a choice.
Oh. Choice?
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'll come back to choice later. Let's create the ability first.
Isn't it fascinating with choice for a virtual creature? They're going to have to...
like, it's very... Like, this is the very... Like, what is very different from machine learning and programming and AI. It's like... Well, my code has a choice. What do you mean? Okay.
We're getting deep into philosophy very quickly with this.
All right. But anyway, let's create the action and talk a little bit about that later.
So I think for this one, we're actually not going to give him any actions at all. This is going to be his sleep action, and he's just going to, you actually don't even need anything here.
Oh.
Go ahead and just.
Oh, there, delete.
You can give him an image.
Okay, sleeping. Or to go like sleep.
Perfect. Okay, and now let's hit update and see if we can actually use this. So these guys won't have these abilities as you already created them. But if you create a bunch of new ones, then they are going to have some of these abilities.
It's pretty cool that you can change the world while it's running.
Yeah, thanks. It's a nice feature. So we can see now that some of these guys look a bit different.
Yeah.
Over here, maybe if you zoom in on these guys, you can see that some of them are actually sleeping.
Yeah.
Some of them are out axe murdering other pixelings. And that's because of their choices.
It's like just this bizarre thing that you can zoom in and out like to this insane like the GPU acceleration is so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And actually, so one little tiny detail for people that are interested in this stuff, each of them are rendered with like one quad, so they have two triangles.
All right.
And since you can run up to 1 million of them, you're painting 1 million, 2 million triangles on your screen, and the GPU is it doesn't even care. I mean, of course, if you're into games, you know that like modern games that have trillions, not trillions, but like millions of triangles on the screen at the same time. So it always blows me away, the power of GPUs.
It's so cool. But it's web but the thing that it's controlling the WebGL is still like JavaScript.
Exactly. That's all. Actually, it's TypeScript, but compiled to JavaScript.
Nice.
But yeah, they're still not that interesting, I'd say. Like they can kill each other now. Actually, if you spawn a few more, we might be able to see one of them kill another one. It might be a little bit
I think
quick,
we've already seen that.
Yeah, we can see a few ones with the crossed out eyes, and that's kind of when they get killed.
Yeah, there's some. There.
Yeah. But we can go ahead and make this a bit more interesting because now they cannot reproduce. There's no way for them to spread and spread their behavior.
They would just randomly walk around killing.
So let's add that as well. Let's open up the ability editor again.
Oh, that was wrong.
No, you're right.
Oh.
And let's go into the kill the all ability.
Kill the all. Oh yeah.
So we're going to change this a little bit now.
Cool.
So we're going to change this kill focused pixeling into an if statement.
Oh, there's ifs in. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
We got it all. And then we're going to add a condition, which is the first row here.
Yeah.
And we're going to make that into focus pixeling is alive. And then we're going to add another condition. Go ahead and click it. And that's going to be can reproduce.
All right.
And then we're going to add 2 actions to this. Oh, that's not one.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no.
Delete this one, and then at the then run.
Oh, then run. All right.
There we go. So we want to keep this one. We want to keep reproduce. That's
Yep.
good. And then one more. And this one is going to be the kill focused pixeling.
All right. So it basically poops out a new pixeling and then kills one.
That's correct. So essentially,
Just like animals do in nature.
so
This is so fucked up animals.
it's essentially if they have the ability to kill someone, if they're in a position to kill someone,
Yeah.
and if they can reproduce, they will kill that guy and then reproduce, creating a new copy of themselves.
All right. So I'll update and let's see this in the.
So you might have to spawn like a bunch of them. I would say maybe.
All right. I'll increase the radius a little bit. Then paint a little bit. Whoa, God. And then we increase the speed and see what happens.
All right.
It seems like I see more green happening here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit.
I think there's a couple of yellow ones there. It's a little bit slow. You can actually spawn a bunch more, and then we can see if something happens. So since it's evolution, you never know exactly what to expect. Sometimes,
I guess that like sometimes you just need to like do a lot of it's kind of like I guess that how the universe works. Like life requires like really dumb luck to be able to arise, and that means that you have to the universe has to be very, very large in order for there to be life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this was probably how life started on planet Earth. That a bunch of random stuff happened, and some of it was like, oh, here's something that works.
Yeah.
And now we can actually see that at the edges here, there are pixelings that are starting to eat their way into this. So they have some kind of behavior that is beneficial to them and enables them to spread.
But guys, can we talk a little bit while we let me go back here and because the abilities are still a bit this is Pixling Zoo,
right.
So to me this is really a little bit weird. So there's actions and it has if all the following conditions are true, focus pixeling is active, can reproduce, and then it does these things. So it seems to me like it should be doing this all the time. But it doesn't, right? Because there's kind of like an extra if statement outside of it, which the pixeling decides itself.
Right.
So it has chosen between kill the all and sleep.
Right. So this is where the choice part comes in. So they don't have a choice of what happens when they use an ability.
No.
But they do have a choice of when to use it. So it's kind of like if you're playing Diablo, you can choose between casting the heal, you can choose between using the attack. You can't choose what happens when you use the ability, but you can choose when to use it. And that's the same thing with them, that they can choose.
Yeah, it's sort of like humans are. Like we can use our different like body extremities to do things, but we can't magically make them do.
Yeah.
We can't fly. We can't. We can't bend our arms in any way.
And another way to think of this is that I sometimes describe it as is an inverse game where you build a game for these creatures and then they play your game. So it's like you could actually build something like, Dota or something in this, and then they would play each other in the game. But it's like an inverse game, right?
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. All right. So and you can just.
Yeah, go crazy.
So we'll just see here that, the pink ones are like really amazing at this.
They seem to be the dominant species here.
Yeah. So the way, this is an interesting thing because without guessing how this would play out, or if I guessed how this would play out, I would probably not guess that one species would be completely dominant. It feels like maybe it should be like sort of, I don't know, the way nature works seems to be like there's not one species that tend to dominate everything. It seems to be like there's Amazon and Google and Facebook, and they just they kind of seem to stabilize into some battle with each other. But here, one just eats everything.
I'd say that in this particular simulation that happens, but I've also seen other simulations where there are actually stable, species that compete against each other. And even in this one, like it seems like in this one, they're actually all going to kill each other in the end because they're becoming fewer and fewer. But if we had a more stable simulation where the numbers kept the same, then you might see these pink ones split into 2 different subspecies that maybe specialize in different ways or maybe collaborate in different ways. One friend had a species that was feeding another species and keeping them alive, and then having this symbiotic relationship. So you can have a lot of crazy stuff with this.
Awesome. This is so cool. We're gonna so this is a simple example. We're gonna do we're gonna do one more episode after this one that's gonna be released a week after this, where we do some more advanced stuff. But this one and the world that we looked at before will be linked in the episode description so that you can check them out in the meantime. And if you do anything like this, please post them in the comments and tell us a little bit about them, because we would really like to know what you do with it. Boom! MPJ here from the future, reminding you to check out Coursera at coursera.org, our fine sponsor of this show. Thank you, Coursera. This has been an episode of Fun Function, in case you're new. I release these every Monday morning, 0800 GMT. You will forget that though, so you can subscribe by clicking here, or check out another episode right now by clicking here. I am MPJ.
Fredrik Noren.
And until next Monday morning, stay curious.
Cool.